Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about the elements of horror, where I talk about random things about horror that people like in books, okay, and movies. If you're going to write a horror story, one thing that you should try to execute is an unreliable narrator, because when you have an unreliable narrator, you don't really know if you should trust what is happening or if it's just in their head and it's all just a lie. And that gives more of a suspense because you don't trust the narrator, and you really shouldn't trust them because it makes it more intriguing, and you don't know what's going to happen because they're unreliable, and you don't know what is really happening or what isn't. And that's the point of horror, is to get into your mind and kind of like, okay, is this happening or is it not? Like, you have to kind of choose your best guess on the subject. Setting wise, in a horror book, the best places to set is in, like, I think the scariest places of horror is asylums, because in the 1950s, most of the stuff that happened that you hear about in asylums really did happen. And the fact that that really did happen is scary. It's a whole other scary from supernatural scary. I do have supernatural elements in my stories, but most of it is metaphorical for psychological, which kind of gets your mind a little twisting a little when I say that, which is kind of the point. To go psychological horror is the best kind of horror there is, because it's real and it's personal, because people can have those kind of breakdowns. It kind of goes into the human mind, and it kind of scares you, like, could this happen to me, or stuff like that, because yeah. Because it's real. I mean, supernatural, you're like, okay, zombies, they're not real. That's never gonna happen. But like with psychological horror, it's like, those things actually took place. Like, that was real, and that's terrifying that those things actually happened. That people can go crazy like that is insane. Like, that could actually happen is a little more scarier than vampires, because that's not real. So there's the difference. So we talked about characters, setting, types of horror. Gore is important. If you're gonna go gory, don't weasel your way out of it. Just do it. Just go into as much detail as you want, just as long as you can bear it. The point of horror is to scare. That's to get people to feel scared. And if you're not doing that, if you're weaseling your way out of gore, if you're weaseling your way out of the psychologicalness, you're not going to get what you want from the reader, and that is for them to fear it and to think about it for a really long time. So a thing that I talk about a lot in my books is blood, because blood is the most scariest thing. If you're like somewhere and you see blood, you're automatically going to get a reaction of, oh my goodness, what is happening here? So the best thing to do with gore is not to overuse words so much. I like to find different words for blood. Like, I talk about the color of it a little more than just saying, oh, there was blood on the floor. I say there was crimson on the floor, or not so much in that corny way, but I kind of go into detail describing it, into saying it what it is, and that gives it more of a, it's not overused sort of way. So that's all I gotta say right now is importance of horror, unreliable narrators, setting is important, if you're gonna put a setting like the forest or something, find out things that it was used for. Like the forest was like the home of the devil back in the day during Puritan times. Puritans talk about how the forest was the devil's place. So like find information on history like that, and you can kind of like tie your way in with it. So character setting, gore, basically everything I said is the whole picture of importance. So if you go into that and you focus on those things, you will make it your rating a lot better if you're in this genre. And that's all I got to say for